We're from ARDEX. We're here to demonstrate and talk about 3 of our unique uncoupling membranes today. My technician, Rob Sayufi, is going to do some demonstrations while I walk you through this. The first product we're going to introduce is our Flexbone UI 740 bonded uncoupling membrane. As you can see, it has a bone structure to it, hence the name Flexbone. The difference between this product and some of the other products on the market is it's an open structure which allows the mortar to flow through the bone structure on the first pass. We're going to install this product with our one component uncoupling adhesive ARDEX AF207. The beauty of using the AF207 is you just pop the lid off, apply the adhesive, and then you can install the mat right into the adhesive. Also, we don't have to worry about displacing mortar underneath the mat. This product goes down on such a small notch trowel that you won't displace any material under the mat, resulting in hollow spots. The other advantage is once you're done installing the mat, you can start your towel installations immediately. No time to wait for a mortar to cure. If the contractor prefers to use a mortar, any of our ARDEX mortars would work to install these UI 740 mat. As long as the product is ANSI 118.4, it is approved. The Flexbone UI 740 meets the extra heavy Robinson floor test according to the TCN8 guidelines, which allows it to go in very heavy traffic areas. So there's no restrictions for this product, residential or commercial. Now that the adhesive has been applied, Rob's going to place the 740 into the adhesive. He's going to flatten the mat out, removing all the air from underneath the mat. And now we'll check for coverage to make sure we're getting good adhesive coverage, which we are. Now that the mat's been placed, we're ready to do our towel installation. We're going to introduce our semi-pourable, large format towel, self-drying S28. As you can see, the consistency of the product's a little different than what most thin sets would look like, but this product was developed for this type of consistency. As you see, one pass with the trowel, the Flexbone fills in. So the contractor has 2 options. He can pre-fill his mat the first day, wait 4 hours with the S28, come back and chalk his lines, and then come back and install tile. Or he can use a wet and wet application, as we're going to demonstrate today. As Rob trowels out the S28, even at that wet consistency, you could see how the trowel lines stand proud. The product was developed for that purpose. The towel contractor does not have to back butter his large tiles. He's going to get good transfer to the back of the tile. Rob's placing a 24-inch by 24-inch porcelain towel into the S28. He's going to move it side to side to collapse the ridges and get the air bubbles out. And now he's going to check for coverage. About 90% coverage, at least on the back of the tile. That is the Flexbone UI 740, the ARDEX S28. Now we're going to introduce the only type of true uncoupling membrane in the industry. It's the only floating product of its kind. It's the UI 720. If you have a situation where you have a very tough substrate to bond to and you have no other options, you may have VCT, you may have cutback adhesive or paint, or maybe an existing hardwood floor or ceramic tile, and your customer doesn't want the dirt and debris of a removal of these type of floor coverings, the option is to just roll out the 720 right over it. The only thing you have to do first is apply the foam expansion strip to all the walls and abutments, maybe up against your cabinets, your vanities. This allows the contractor to have an expansion joint all around the perimeter of the room, as well up against any other abutments. Once the foam insulation tape is applied, now you're practically ready to roll out the mat. The first sheet, we remove the overlap tape. The material comes with an overlap self-adhesive tape on the ends, as you could see. The first roll, you remove that tape, so the next roll can go down and bond the two mats together. The UI 720 is perfect also for for boutique clothing stores or other type of stores that have to have their floor coverage changed out every few years. You just cut out the garage joints, you pick up the whole installation, carry it out, come back, roll out the mat, and put a new installation in. So it's very convenient for storefronts that need to have their floor installation changed frequently. Our third uncoupling mat and our newest mat that we're going to launch in July is the Flexbone Heat. The Flexbone Heat is installed using the AF207 or one of our mortars like we already did with the 740. So Rob's going to show you how easy it is to install the heat wire. As you notice, our wire has a hot and cold lead. The hot and cold lead are all in the same wire. There's no large thick box here where the two wires meet up, making it very difficult for the tile installer. He usually has to cut out the floor to make it fit. It's all in the exact same wire. As Rob installs the wire, you'll also notice the spherical turns that we make, which allows the wire itself to relax. Most other heat wires have a rectangular or a square change, which puts stress on the wire. With this spherical turn, the wire is able to relax, resulting in less chances of the wire getting kinked or damaged. Also, a unique difference about our product compared to our competitors, we have these little, what we call heat elevation locks on our mat, which holds the wire off the surface of the plastic uncoupling mat. That allows the mortar or the self-leveling material, whichever you're using, to get underneath the wire and on top of it, encapsulating it, giving it more area for heat. You'd rather heat up the mortar rather than heating the mat itself. So after you install the heat wire, you have two options. You can either use one of our thin sets, either it's S28 or X77 or X78, to flat trowel over the wire, or we have a very unique opportunity to present one of our self-leveling products, liquid backer board. The liquid backer board offers the installer a much quicker way of encapsulating the heat wires and allowing them to come back in 6 hours and ready to do their towel installation. Steve's mixing up the liquid backer board right now, and we're going to show you an easy way to encapsulate using self-leveling. Can I answer any questions while he's mixing up the self-leveling material? We're not looking to do actual self-leveling over the heat wire. We're just looking to use the material to encapsulate the wires. Once the wires are encapsulated with self-leveling, the towel contractor doesn't have to worry that the wires are going to get damaged by walking over the floor or by having things rolled over the floor to also possibly damage the wires. So it's a quick, convenient way to ensure that you have your wires safe, as well as give yourself a nice flat surface to towel on. So again, we have the ARDEX bonded UI 740, the ARDEX S28 mortar. We have the UI 720 floating uncoupling membrane, and the new Flexbone Heat. Any questions? Okay, thank you.